what's up YouTube? For today's video, with a full redirect Pokemon team. Sammy, this one is for you. So there's a few Pokemon out there and moves and items and such that have the ability to stop redirection moves. Example, Propeller Tail. I'll be doing purely doubles battles in today's video because that's where all of these virtually apply, and I'm going to show you some pretty cool strategies and things you may not have seen or heard of before. Let's get into it, people. We've got 5 battles today, and we've got all double battles. I've been so busy in real life, people. I've been trying to work on some YouTube stuff as well, so we're so close to getting back to our daily uploads and streams and such like that, so please bear with me. Alright, so we got a Barraskewda and Duraludin lead here. Now, Barraskewda, as you know, has the ability Propeller Tail. Basically, what this means is the Pokemon's moves cannot be redirected to a different target, right? So, we had the Ogerpon Wellspring going for Follow Me, and if you notice, I still managed to hit the Calyrex Shadow Rider with the Throat Chop. Now, I got my Duraludin, its Everlight set here with the ability Stalwart. So, Stalwart basically does the same thing as well. So the reason why I went for the Calyrex as well there is I thought it might have a sash, and my other move was Body Press. So just in case it didn't, if it had a sash, that would have been a disaster, right? So anyway, we got rid of the Calyrex, a very, very good start to the battle. Now, Ogerpon is going to be a interesting set. It's got Stomping Tantrum, and we got an Amoonguss as well. Now, the builds on the Barraskewda, we've got Max Attack and Max Speed, Adamant Nature, Propeller Tail as ability. Duraludin is going to be a Max Health, Max Attack set with Brave Nature and Stalwart and Everlight. Gyro Ball, Iron Defense, Body Press, and Protect sort of set. I was really trying to get these Pokemon with moves that could stop redirection, or even have redirect moves myself, if you can see what moves I'm using. So, the next one we got here is Reuniclus with Ally Switch. So, that actually is going to be changing places with the Duraludin there, but I don't know if they guessed that. If they guessed it, Ally Switch it, that was a very good guess, but, that got rid of my Duraludin, unfortunately. So, I was trying to get the Duraludin to go for Body Press, and then, Ally Switch to the Reuniclus, but to no avail. Now, Reuniclus has a pretty cool ability, Overcoat, too. So with Overcoat, Overcoat is actually immune to powder moves and such like that. So a redirect power move, sorry, not power, powder move, I got the power, is Rage Powder, right? So it's actually immune to those moves, which is pretty cool. So we got the Ivy from the Ogerpon. It's going to be hitting me pretty hard there. No crit, thank goodness. And I brought in the Sinistcha. So Sinistcha has got Rage Powder as well. It's going to be redirecting. It's got Gotcha, Shadow Ball, and Scald. Ability is going to be heat proof. And I've got the item Safety Goggles. So if you don't know Safety Goggles, the item actually ignores Rage Powder as well, which is pretty cool. So, Rage Powder is used a lot in redirection. Now, basically, Ally Switch, Rage Powder, and Follow Me are basically the only redirection moves in the game. So there's not a lot of them. There are some other abilities and moves as well, which we'll get to in a sec. So what we're going to have here is a King Gambit sliving in, and we've got the Gastrodon coming in too. Now, this is really, really interesting because I got a little poker fact here you actually may not have seen before. So I've got this Sinistcha going for the Rage Powder here. I was pretty much certain they were going to go for me anyway, but I wanted to see if I get my Reuniclus to go for a Terra-Fighting Focus Miss, and hopefully it was going to land. Reuniclus was Ally Switch, Thunder, Psyshock, and Focus Pass, Overcoat ability, Max Health, and Special Attack with Quiet Nature. So I landed the Focus Miss, and that's going to take out the King Toilet. So they'll glad you... I have no idea what these names mean either. It could be... I'm probably going to get this wrong. I think they might be German names. Next Pokemon we got is Ursaluna, and it's a shiny, and it's a very, very naughty hack shiny Pokemon. Now it's called Moon Amazon. I don't know what they mean. Maybe they used Mummy's credit card and bought it off Amazon. No idea. Anyway, we got the star of the show, Inteleon. If you notice with Inteleon, the Gastrodon there, I'm assuming it definitely, well, even if it had it or didn't have it, Snipe Shot is going to be a cool move for redirection because it actually ignores anything, any redirection moves, and also abilities like Storm Drain. So it's quite a good counter for those types of things. So Ursaluna and the Gastron here. Gastron's going to be using Amnesia, which is a bit of a problem. I can't really do too much to it with my Inteleon. I've got Ice Beam, and that's about it. So Clefable's got Follow Me, Hyper Voice, and Dazzling Gleam, and Heal Pulse. I gave it Hyper Voice and Dazzling Gleam, so that would stop any redirection, so it hit both of the opponents and stuff. And yeah, we got the Ursaluna go for the Vacuum Wave there, I guess trying to get a bit of damage in before it died. Now, another thing you may not know, Water Pledge cannot be absorbed by Storm Drain either, so did you know that? You know, I don't know if too many people actually know that, but it's a little cool poker fact there. If for some reason it just doesn't get absorbed by Storm Drain. Anyway, next Pokemon to come is going to be the Mungus. I'm really trying to get some damage here with Clefable. I'm very, very worried about this Gastron because it is boosting up. I can't use Snipe Shot on it because it's going to absorb it with its ability. And I've got an Inteleon Snipe Shot, Ice Beam, Water Pledge, and Terra Blast Ground. So I don't really want to go for Terra Blast Ground or anything. The item on my Inteleon is going to be Scope Lens. I've got Max Special Attack and Max Speed, Timid Nature. So Gastron's going to go for a Hydro Pump on my Inteleon. I thought I might go for Clefable, but it's going for me. So clearly it doesn't have any like ground type moves. I'm going for Ice Beam. It's just not doing anything at all. I'm trying to get some damage here. So here's another Hydro Pump from the Gastron. This is very bad because Clefable's doing nothing. I'm going for Ice Beam here. I get a ginormous thumping, throbbing crit, and the Inteleon is going to get healed by my Clefable. So this is perfect. That crit absolutely won me the game there. If I didn't get the Ice Beam crit, I'd say Gastron would have definitely won there. But that was a crazy battle. Disrespect Terra Blast at the end, and a nice salty baby bottle to finish off with this first battle. Man, they were angry after that crit. You know they were steaming, right? But I hope you enjoyed that first battle. Really cool. I got to show you like a lot of different strategies with redirection there, and showing you some cool stuff like Water Pledge and stuff are not being affected by Storm Drain, and a lot of other cool redirections. Now watch this next battle. So we're gonna battle here. No idea what the trainer name is. This Mewtwo was not having a good time. It got played like a fiddle. So we got the Barraskewda Ranunculus lead here. So I was thinking to myself, well, Mewtwo's probably just gonna spam Psy Strike or something like that, right? I might be able to get around that by going Terra Dark on my Barraskewda. So if I go for Terra Dark, I won't be affected by Psychic. If Mewtwo is going for me only, we're not talking about Lunala. So I'm going for that, and I'm thinking if I go for Terra Dark Throat Chop, it's going to be hitting it pretty hard on the on Lula. So Barraskewda is going to go first. It's a very fast Pokemon. Lula managed to live that just due to its ability, and Mewtwo goes for Psy Strike, and it doesn't affect me. So it's very, very good. Now Moongeist Beam is going to be the move Lunala goes for here, which is fine. I knew it would go for that, and Ridiculous actually just lives on 23 health, which is awesome. Thunder from Down Under is going to miss, which sucks. That would have been some nice damage on Mewtwo. So I thought, all right, we're going to see if we can make things hard for this Mewtwo. So what I did is I went for an ally swap here on my Ranunculus, swapped into that. Now Mewtwo, I'm going to go for the Throat Chop on Mewtwo. It lives, of course it does. Now Mewtwo went for a Side Strike and that went for Barraskewda. Man, they got played like a fiddle. So here comes a Moonblast from Lula, and Ranunculus is down. Even though I lost the Pokemon there, it was actually turned out better because I did more damage to both of those Pokemon. So essentially, that was a way better first turn for me. So we're going to bring in the Inteleon. I'm going to finish off the Lunala there because it's only on a better health, and I already know that I can outspeed the Mewtwo. And suddenly, I've taken out 2 Pokemon and I only lost 1. So that worked perfectly. That was a very, very awesome first couple of turns. Next Pokemon we got is going to be the Necrozma Dustmane. This thing is super thick, so I know it's going to take at least 2 Throat Chops. And out comes Giratina, and Giratina is floating. Now I want to tell you something pretty cool that you may not know either. Now I was doing a lot of battles. As you know, I've done thousands of battles each generation, right? There wouldn't be many people who do as many battles as I do. I figured out, right, and after all my battles, why a Pokemon floats, right, in the battle. See, Giratina's floating. Now, I noticed in all the battles that I did, sometimes a Pokemon that came out that was already floating itself, say that Lunala, it was already in the air. If you'd send a Pokemon out after that, it would float as well. And I noticed this pattern after a while in doing all my battles. So if you're curious about that little fact, like I've seen Gengar float. I think all the Pokemon can float in some form. That's what caused it. There's no other like reason why it does that. It doesn't do it randomly. From what I've seen, it does it if there's a Pokemon like floating. But anyway, if you were curious about that, I did figure that out a while ago. I was sort of just mucking around and noticed a pattern. Anyway, so we got the Clefable coming in. Unfortunately, I lost my Barraskewda. I'm really trying to get some damage on these other Pokemon, on like the Giratina, because it's very bulky. And I sort of let the Dustmane, wreak a bit of havoc on my team. But I had no choice, right? It was just a legendary spammer's team. So Groudon, I know, is going to go for his signature move. That's why I went for it with an Ice Beam. And yeah, I know Clefable's going to get hit by a Sunsteel Strike now, but that was virtually the best thing I could do there, just to get some damage on the Groudon. So I've lost 4 of my Pokemon now. I've got 2 left, and my opponent still has a Groudon and a Dustmane and 1 other. So I'm going into Sinistcha now. Now I know Sinistcha can go for its Machagotcha, which will hit very hard against Groudon, and we've also got Duraludon, which I feel like might be able to do something against these Pokemon if I manage to get an Iron Defense up. So we're going to go for Machagotcha here. We're going to spin right round, baby. And it's going to land on the Groudon, take the Groudon out. Obviously, Dustmane is going to be able to live that. It's going to be able to resist that pretty well. But we got rid of Groudon, so it won't be able to hit both Pokemon. Now it's going to go for Sunsteel Strike. It pretty much just did this all the time. And I had a feeling it would definitely go for Sinistcha. Sinistcha is pretty bulky, so it managed to live that nicely. I managed to get a free Iron Defense up, which is good, which is going to not only make me more bulky on the defensive side, but allow me to have more power on my body press. So last Pokemon on the team, of course, is a Kyogre. Machagotcha misses on the Kyogre. That was a huge salty miss there. I was like, man, that sucks. And the Crossbow, of course, is not going to die to that either, even though it took the full load. So Sinistcha's going to get a little bit of help back there. We got a burn on a Crossbow, which was good. So at least I had a little bit of good luck there. Kyogre has popped a Sheer Cold on Duraludon and it's missed. I was like, oh, that would have been so bad if that landed right. So Solgaleo is going to go for its signature move again, and Sinistcha managed to live that because it's burned. And now I've got a body press off on Kyogre. Good quality damage there. Definitely can't complain. So Necrozma now is virtually not even like worth attacking, so I just wait for Machagotcha here. That's going to land a Kyogre, and it takes out Necrozma and almost takes out the Kyogre, which is great. So Dustmane's gone, and Sinistcha's got a little bit of health left. We've got Duraludon basically ready to go on full health with body press. That worked out excellent. So bye-bye Necrozma, you were a thorn on my side the whole battle. Here comes an Origin Pulse, and that does a fair bit of damage to Duraludon, and it takes out the Sinistcha. So we've got like this turn for body press, but since Kyogre only had a little bit of health back, he was not going to live that. And we got the fat W there against a full legendary spamming team. Pretty cool. Hope you enjoyed that second battle, people. If you're enjoying the battle so far, if you want to support the channel, make sure you drop a like there. And do you like these double battles? Do you find them interesting? Obviously today's is all about doubles because of those moves. But if you want to see a little bit more of doubles, let me know. I always like to hear feedback and stuff like that. Okay. Also, one other thing here, people, is we are doing like a full upgrade on all the Pokemon models up the top. I know we've got some like older ones from like X and Y days and some other ones that don't move so much. So we're doing a full revamp of that too over the next week or two. So probably 2 weeks we'll have like all the brand new ones, nice and looking crisp and clean. So that's been taking up a bit of time too. So yeah, just some stuff to come on the channel. Next battle here, we have another random battle. So we've got a Foragers and a Frostmoth lead. My random opponent had a mono bug team, which is pretty cool. So we're going to go into Sinistcha, and the Frostmoth is going to set up the Tailwind. So the Foragers was actually setting up entry hazards and stuff like that, which, I don't know, in double, I feel like it's a little bit slow in double, especially Toxic Spikes and such. I mean, Stealth Rock is okay, I guess, but I feel like, entry hazards in doubles is a little bit, it doesn't have enough like time to work, in comparison to singles. So obviously this Foragers is going to have like lots of setup moves, and it might have some, I don't know, I was thinking it was either got Gurable, Explosion, something like that. So it's setting up some more Toxic Spikes. I sort of ignored it because it wasn't that threatening at all, and we took out the Frostmoth, the crit, which is really, really cool. So the item the Forester's got is leftovers, so it's able to tank this pretty well. I think they've definitely got some special defensive EVs. And, well, they have health, of course, too. Next Pokemon's going to be Scizor. Scizor, I think I can get around with my Inteleon if I just, bang it with a couple of snipe shots. And Sinister's able to live those iron heads pretty good, but I got Flinch, which really, really sucks. Now the Forester's is going to set up Stealth Rocks. Interesting they didn't do that earlier on, but they set the Toxic Spikes up first, so they've got lots of entry hazards going on the field. So once again, not that much of a threatening Pokemon at this stage. Now the Scizor is going to go for Protect. Yeah, it's good to use Protection, people, and I actually was thinking about going for a Shadow Ball on the Forretress to take it out and Snipe Shot on the Scizor to get rid of it. So that would get rid of, both those Pokemon. So I went for Shadow Ball here. I almost actually went to go for the double team on the Scizor, but I thought, no, I'll go for them just in case they protect. And I'm glad I did that. So that's the end of that. Tailwind is gone, so they didn't really get a lot out of that Tailwind. And in comes Low Kicks. So Low Kicks is a bit of a beast, especially with access to a lot of priority. Turn 1, like First Impression, Sucker Punch. And I knew I'd be able to live that one. Maybe not if it wasn't Banded, though, which, it clearly wasn't. So I've got the Rage Powder. Rage Powder goes after First Impression, unfortunately. But I did take the Bullet Punch to the face here, so I was able to live that, and I was able to finish off the Low Kicks, or put that on a low amount of health. So Bullet Punch is going to finish off my Inteleon there, but we need to get rid of this Low Kicks. It's a bit of a threat, so I went for Shadow Ball, and yeah, it's going to take it out there. I mean, it's got Sucker Punch as well, which is a very powerful priority on that. I think Low Kicks is it's a pretty underrated Pokemon. I really like it. So, Sinister is going to go down. Not that it was that great. Like, Magicotcha, there was not much point using. It was better using Rage Powder and Shadow Ball, right? With all these bugs around. Next Pokemon's going to be Volcarona. I need to take that out. That's a very threatening Pokemon. And we've got the Barraskewda. So, Barraskewda can easily get rid of Volcarona, depending on whether they're going to tear her or not. Now, I smelled a Quiver a mile away. I was thinking, even if they don't have that, I need to do some damage to this. So, I've got Flip Turn as my sort of like go-to move there, and I've also got Throat Chop too. I have Throat Chop for Bug Buzz, but I might just do Fiery Dance and stuff like that. So I was thinking, let's play it safe here. We'll go for Flip Turn, and I'll go for the Ally Switch here. Wouldn't be too bad. Then they swapped out the Volcarona and went into Heracross. I was like, okay. Interesting. So I ally swapped there. I thought they may try and go for a bug move on me, and like I sort of swap places and then flip turns, and I got the flip turn damage on Heracross, which is okay, So I'm swapping out Barraskewda, going to Clefable. I thought that was a smart idea due to the type matchups, apart from Scissor's Iron Head. And I didn't think Scizor would go for me because, being a water type of stuff, but it's going to go for the previous target that was there, which is Reuniclus, and they scored a lucky crit too, which is lucky. So, Heracross is probably definitely going to be Moxie, so I thought, all right, what's the most I can squeeze out of Clefable? Let's get a Follow Me off. I might be able to get Reuniclus to finish this off with Psyshock. Heracross is going to go for Trailblaze. That's going to boost its speed, and I was like, yep, that's definitely got Moxie. I bet you it has that. And, Clefable's down. Not that it really could do much. So, it's got a Moxie. I need to get rid of it now. I knew that I can leave an Iron Head pretty well. Reuniclus is very bulky. Very underrated Pokemon, and I can finish off Heracross easy. That was definitely the threatening Pokemon at this stage. So, bye-bye Heracross. So, all that's left now is a Volcarona and a Scizor. Most of the time, I'd probably run Magic Guard on Reuniclus, but since I was running Overcoat just for this theme team, right? If you're curious. So, we got Barraskewda sliding back in. I can go for Flip Turn again on Volcarona. Someone's going to have to go, like, I smell a Terror a mile away, and it's definitely going to be Volcarona. So, a lot of the time, it runs Grass Terror. It can run some other ones too, but at this point I was like, it's either going to be Grass, Water, Fire, or Bug. That's usually what it runs, to support its stab or a defensive type, so it can get Equivadance up or any kind of advantage there. So this one is going to be Terra Water, which is not very good for Barraskewda because it's not going to do that much damage with flip turns, like Bugger. So now I'm going to have to swap out. I've got those, those Stealth Rocks are on the field, which are going to do a bit of damage, and I went into Duraludon. I wanted to see what they had, and I knew that Duraludon would be able to, it was a physical set too, so it was a physical Volcarona. So props to them for that. I definitely didn't expect that. So it was a physical Volcarona taking out the Reuniclus. I was like, this is interesting. I actually just did a physical Volcarona sweep, I want to say like a month or so ago, or maybe a little bit more. Anyway, Scizor's going to pop a Terra Blast. That's going to do nothing to Duraludon. So if they've only got physical attacks, Duraludon's going to be pretty good with Iron Defense. I should be able to get rid of them, right? And, pepper them a little bit with Barraskewda. So we got Terra Darky. I thought, well, Duraludon could go for Terra, but there's not a lot of point. Let's go for let's go for Terra Dark Throat Chop. That shoots some pretty good damage on Scissor to finish it off, or Volcarona. I feel like Volcarona is the more threatening Pokemon at this stage because it could still have a, like, it could be a mixed attacker. Like, I can't 100% rule that out either because I've only seen one move. I'm 90% sure it's going to be physical, but you know, you never know, right? You don't want to make assumptions at important parts of the game. That's, you know, sort of what I learned. So we're going to go for Terra Dark here and get as much damage as possible against the Volcarona. At least then, I don't think that Scissor will go for a Steel-type move because I was Water either. So good damage on Volcarona, and it used Fire Spin. See, it's a Fire Spin and Leech Life test. Like, that's actually a little bit annoying because it is reasonable damage, and it's also going to hurt Duraludon at the end of the turn. Scissor's going to go for Terra Blast. That does donkeys, and I'm going to go for Iron Defense. So at this point in time, Duraludon is going to definitely be the one here that's going to be able to finish off these last couple of Pokemon. So I know that it's got Bullet Punch. It's probably going to go for Barraskewda this turn, which I was already prepared for after before I Terra'd. And that's at least going to get Scissor to attack off the Duraludon. So I can now go for Body Press, either on Volcarona or the Scissor. Fire Spin is going to miss on Duraludon, which is very good. Fire Spin's a little bit shaky. I finish off the Scissor, which is fine there. I possibly probably should have gone for the Volcarona now that I look back at it, but it doesn't matter. They're going to take some Fire Spin damage. Fire Spin misses twice in a row, which is very, very bad luck there, and Volcarona is going to faint. If they, they also got a Flame Body right at the end there. I mean, if I don't know, for argument's sake, maybe if they landed there on both those Fire Spins, they possibly would have won there, but it was a very close battle anyway, and cool Mono Bug Team to my Japanese opponent there. Thank you for the battle. If someone wants to translate these names, feel free to. Let's get on to battle number 4. We had another random battle on the Pokebottle. Of course, this one is another doubles battle, and we've got some cool Pokemon here you don't get to see very often. So a little bit different than the standard slot that's always on the Pokebottle. So we've got Electrode and Stonejourner lead here. So Stonejourner's got a cool doubles ability, and we've also got Electrodes. Like, I wonder what Electrode's going to do here. I'm a little bit scared of an electric move because Electrode is very fast, and it's going to be able to absolutely drop my Barraskewda. So first turn Terra was interesting. It's like, I wonder what Pokemon's going to be. So it's going to be Electro, and then they went Terra Poison. I was like, what? I mean, okay, for the Clefable, but to have Terra Poison, I don't know, I was confused. Anyway, we're going to, it's a Beehive. Stonejourner going to dive in a Beehive, and we got that Wire Guard happening. I went for Follow Me here, just in case. I just want to see what, like, the Electro would do. Go for, like, Volt Switch or Thunderbolt. I went for Flip Turn, and good damage on the Stonejourner. Stonejourner has good defense though, so I knew that it would be able to live that one. So I did a swap into Duraludon. I thought this is a good Pokemon to swap into a Poison type. And Electrode's going to have Terra Blast Poison. Now, I have to question why they've got Terra Poison. I mean, I'm not having a go. It's cool seeing something different, but I'm trying to think why they've got Terra Poison, right? Electrode's weak to ground, right? So that doesn't help it out at all. I don't know, and it doesn't. It just. I don't know, like, it's interesting, but I don't understand why, like, part of their team. Like, maybe I've watched this battle a couple of times already. I'm sure I think why they're doing it. Maybe they're doing it just for something different. I'm not sure, but it's cool otherwise. But as for, like, an offensive or a defensive typing, it's kind of bad because they're still weak to ground, right? They're, you know, the one weakness to electric. Anyway, I went for the Dazzling Gleam there. Stonejourner's got, like, -2 into special defense because it's terrible on that stat, and it's going to get dropped. Next Pokemon to come is going to be Poor Mott. Now, Poor Mott is definitely going to have Revival Blessing. You know it, and I know it, and, well, I guess they know it too. So, I can go for a Dazzling Gleam for super effective damage. I know it's not going to do much to Electrode, and hopefully, hopefully I'll be able to get that off. However, Electrode is going to target my Clefable again and take it out. So, you know, the Terra Poison was very good at getting rid of my Clefable. It worked for that. Maybe they just did that because Fairy is such a common, it's a good type and a common good type too. So maybe that was the answer to Fairy type Pokemon. Who knows? So anyway, I'm going to hit by a close combat and I'm going to go for the Body Press. It doesn't do a lot of damage though because I don't have any Iron defenses up. So with this Duraludon, I've got Gyro Ball. I thought that could be good. And we've got Inteleon, right? Which can go for Snipe Shot as well. I haven't seen any electric moves in this Electrode yet. It's only really used its Terra. So I decided here to go for Terra Ground because I thought, well, we've got a Pawmot on the field and an Electrode, right? They've got to go for an electric move, right? They have to go for an electric move. Let's see what happens. So I'm going for Terra Ground. I'm going to go first here. I've got that Terra Blast. I've got the scope lens up too. Not that I'm going to need it to take out the poor one. And poor one is down. So that's good. No revival blessings there. At least you thought, right? So here comes the metal sound from the Electro. Interesting. That's going to drop my special defense. Not that it was super amazing, even with Everlight. I went for Gyro Ball, and pretty good damage there. I'm happy with that. We're going to pop that air balloon, and that's going to allow me to go for Terra Blast Ground now. Next Pokemon's going to be Koraidon. So Koraidon, I was like, well, this is bad. It's going to finish me off with Collision Course. Definitely my Duraludon. It's not going to live there. I've got Protect. Maybe I should go for Protect and then go for Ice Beam with my Inteleon. That could work, or finish off the Electrode. So I decided here to go for the Ice Beam or the Terra Blast. Like, man, I was thinking about this for a bit. Then I went for Protect, and they went for Protect. So it was like a double Protect there. So I went for Ice Beam on Koraidon, and I did good damage to it too. I was happy with that damage. Nice. It was a 2-hit KO. Now, instead of going for Collision Course, it went for Breaking Swipe. So Breaking Swipe is a good move in doubles. That did drop my attack there on my Duraludon and did a good chunk of damage to Inteleon as well. I just went for Iron Defense again because I was trying to like power up my body press. I decided against Protect this turn. So this turn I could go for Ice Beam and finish it off, or I could go for Terra Blast on Electrode. I'd actually decided to go for the Electrode. They swapped out Koraidon and went into Rapscar. So Rapscar is not a Pokemon you get to see very often as well. Once again, it's the other Pokemon that has Revival Blessing too. So I was like, they're definitely going to try and bring back a Pokemon here. That actually worked out very, very well for me. My Electrode is like, I don't know, it's like flopping around inside that Terra Blast, and that's going to faint. So that was almost a free swap in and KO for me. So I'm in a very strong position right now. Next Pokemon's going to be Dialga Origin. I've got Terra Blast Ground for this as well, and I've got Body Press, so that's pretty good. I can go for Body Press and Terra Blast Ground. That should be enough to take it out. So I'm going for Terra Blast, outspeeding. Dialga Origin isn't exactly, it's not like a blisteringly speedy anyway, and it's going to get hit pretty hard with that, so I'm happy with that. Now it's going to use Roar of Time. Like, watch this, right? It goes to Roar of Time on Inteleon. So I was like, that's interesting. It's got Roar of Time instead of Dragon Pulse, or hell, even Drake or Meteor, right? Then what I did, right, so I went for Body Press and I took it out. And I was like, okay, that's gonna faint, right? That's good. Then Rapscar went for a Revival Blessing. I'm like, wait, they're gonna bring back Dialga and go for Roar of Time again, right? To try and get around Roar of Time's like one turn of like downtime. That's like Galaxy Brain, right? But instead, they brought back another Pokemon. They brought back Pawmon. So I was like, oh, that was their chance to go for Roar of Time again. Anyway, they brought back Koraidon just lives Drill Run like I sort of knew it would, and it's going to use Collision Course. It also has that too. It'd be odd if it didn't. And Duraludon is going to faint. So now they're starting to faint a few Pokemon. I really need to finish them off before Pawmon brings back another Pokemon, right? So it had the Life Orb too, and it fainted itself. So that was pretty lucky. So bye-bye Koraidon. Now it's going to go for Extra Sensory. That does good damage to Barraskewda. Not that it's very bulky Pokemon. Anyway, I know this can have Mach Punch a lot of the time. So like, do I Ally Swap or not? So I decided to go for Ally Swap here in case it had Mach Punch. I swapped them around. Barraskewda went for Drill Run here. It didn't have Mach Punch, obviously, and that's going to faint the Pawmon before I could go for Mach Punch or Revival Blessing or anything. I don't know. Anyway, so Rapscar's going to go for a Struggle Bug. Struggle Bug is, it's kind of underrated because it can hit both opponents and drop the special attack. In this case, it's really only going to affect Reuniclus, and Barraskewda actually managed to live that and get a Throat Chop off. Now it's going to go for Struggle Bug again, and that's going to take out Barraskewda. Has dropped my Reuniclus' special attack a lot, but since it's on such a low amount of health, it doesn't really matter. I can go for a Thunder from Down Under, and that is going to take out the Beetle. And that, my friends, is the end of the fourth battle. We've got one more battle here with the with our really cool redirection team here. Have you been enjoying yourself? Are you still watching at the moment? Let me know. Are you deep in this video? Are you enjoying this? Are you watching still? Let me know in the comments. I always love to hear your feedback, people. And let's get into it. So we got another battle here. I battled this person 3 times over 3 different teams. This was the last battle that we did. And yeah, it was interesting, right? This was pretty scary, right? So we had a Whimsicott and a Superior. So just to explain to this battle, they only had 4 Pokemon. So I only brought 4 Pokemon along. I didn't bring my whole team of 6, right? So I didn't want to be a scumbag. So we got Barraskewda and Clefable as the leading 2 Pokemon. So I got an Aqua Pressure boost up on myself, which is special defense, which is not, neither here or there. It's not really going to do much. And I got Taunted. So I can't really go for anything else here apart from Dazzling Gleam. So we know that Superior is obviously going to be a contrary Leaf Storm set, and it's going to be very, very problematic if I don't feint it. The problem is I didn't actually have a lot to hit it with. I had Throat Chop, which wasn't that great, and I had Dazzling Gleam, which did reasonable damage, but it was outspeeding me too, and I had to sort of watch out, how quickly, if I lost Barraskewda and then my other speedy Pokemon, that could be very bad. Now, they also had leftovers too, which allowed it to get more health back. Then they went for a Terra here, so I was thinking they definitely weren't going to go for Terra Whimsicott, and they actually went for a Stellar Superior. So this is one of the few Pokemon that actually can make use of Stellar, because mostly it's a terrible mechanic. It doesn't really do much, for other Pokemon. It's going to have that Terra Blast. So what Terra Blast does during Stellar, it drops your stats normally. Obviously with Contrary, those are going to be changed around, and they're going to be positives instead, right? So that's going to change. Change things a lot, right? That's going to get rid of my Clefable. They're going to get an attack and a special attack rise, which is very, very bad. I'm sort of hitting away with Throat Chop, but not quite getting there, which is very, very bad. I have to take out Superior now. So it's getting a lot of stat boost up. It can virtually one-shot my entire team, and I don't have a lot of my entire team left, really, to be honest. So here comes Moonblast. That's going to take out Barraskewda, which is bad. I was hoping they'd target me with the Superior, but now they're going to go for a Stellar Giga Drain. Since I'm very, very bulky if Everlight, and I resist that, I'm actually able to live that very, very nicely. I know what they were trying to do. They were trying to get their health back. I had Garaball though, and that's going to hit them really hard. So it was great that I had a Steel type there that completely counters Superior. So the big threat's now gone. I can finally try and get back in this battle. Unfortunately, I've only got my two sort of supporty Pokemon here. I mean, Duraludon can do something, but I will say, so we got Focus Miss on Ranunculus. So you know what? I was like, man, I see a Lola Dugtrio. I'm gonna go for that Focus Blast, and I'll go for Garaball on the Whimsicott. Yeah. So here comes the Earthquake from Dugtrio. I had a feeling they may have that. They actually critted their own Whimsicott, which is funny, but in the grand scheme of things, it didn't really matter too much because I was always going to one-shot them. So that's the end of Whimsicott, which is fine. Now we got Dugtrio left. I was like, please don't miss, and Ranunculus does not miss Focus Miss, which is great. So that's going to annihilate Dugtrio. No Sash or anything like that, and that's gone. So one more Pokeball left on the team, and that Pokemon is going to be a Frost Slash. It's like, ooh, this is good. I can go for Garaball. But before I do that, I better go for Protection. See if we can get some damage. It might have a Sash. You never know. So I knew they'd probably go for Duraludon first because they know I've got Garaball, so that worked in perfectly. It freed up my Ranunculus to go for one attack on it, which is going to be a Psyshock, and Psyshock does good damage. That's a 2-hit KO. Next turn, they're going to go for Shadow Ball on Ranunculus, and that is going to almost take me out. Very, very close, but Ranunculus is bulk saved there, and then I finish off the Frost Slash with the Garaball, and that is the end of the 5th battle. Hope you enjoyed the redirection moves. Really cool theme, team. I'll see you tomorrow, people, for more videos and streams. Peace.